might grab your attention and we'll get underway. I introduced myself first by saying, hi, I'm Liam. I've always wanted to write my name that high. Where if I stood next to it, it would be taller than I. So this is a bit of a dream come true right here. Can anyone tell me, what I like to do to get a group engaged, particularly as we're coming up to the afternoon grumpy zone. It's nearly 2:30, had a whole day, sugar lows, okay, is to do the EA exercise. And what I would like you to do is, on the count of 3, to say EA. EA. Count of 3, say EA. And what I'd like you to do, as we're not sitting in a rigid circle, is to put it into the centre of the room. Okay? Focus your attention and your energy in there. Alright? So 1, 2, 3. Yay! That was pretty good. That was okay. We're going to try it again. This time a little bit more chutzpah. Okay? Centre of the room. This is our group. This is our time. So let's have a bit of fun with it. Okay? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yay! That's good. That's real good. Alright. Walls and steps. Question on the postcard or posting majigger on the board. When does a step become a wall? Anyone got an answer to that question? Wall.
When the step becomes too high.
Yep. Step comes too high, or you are no longer capable of lifting your foot or your body above the height of the step. So quite simply, all I need to be able to do to not climb over my step, this guy here, is not be able to put my foot over it. This is the step, steps and walls, and what I'd like us to do is to try our best to go through this exercise. What you have to do, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is 1. You have to get over the step. Okay? I'm here, I haven't got over the step yet. Magically make it over here, I'm on the other side. That's your job. The 2 instructions that I'll give you is that you cannot step on the step in order to get over here. Nor can you step over it.
Ha! That's right.
We have Now, the step is in a bit of a sorry-ness state. But the job's been done. Okay. Anyone else?
You did it yourself if you walked around.
I did. Come through. What's your? So that was Pia up the back. Thanks to Pia, and it's Jarla. Jarla. Okay. Jump over the step. Fantastic. All right. Who's next? I'm going to pick someone.
Can you repeat your instructions?
So we have a step. You have to get over to the other side.
Yeah, got that.
2 instructions are you can't step on it or step over it.
You could go the other way around, across the world, and end up there.
Could you do that?
Well, not in this moment, but I could. Technically, I could, yeah.
Okay, so around the entire world.
Exactly,
Right.
yeah.
That's a really good one. I like it. Because you could definitely take in some sights, go see Italy, have some pasta,
Exactly.
all that kind of stuff. You know, let's take one along the way as well. Could you actually do it now?
No, it would take a long time.
Great idea, but not something that we can do now. So we've got 2 categories. Yes. Who have we got up here? This is Mick. Legend.
So time's on.
Get rid of the step.
Get rid of the step.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice.
Nice. I'd use a hotter flame. I would melt the rock until it was dead.
You can change the perspective. You're already on the other side.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's good. Thank you. How would you say it? That's the bush. I'm already on the other side.
I am not.
There is this.
I don't want to get the other side.
Who else has got some ideas?
Change the aim.
Yeah. Who else has got some ideas? Change the name.
Change the aim.
How would you change it?
I would walk over there.
Okay. Really, don't accept the proposition. Why do we have to? I've asked you to do it. You can say no. Okay. Crack a little fart if you want to.
Does the stamp need to stay intact?
Break it up. It's good if it does, because I like this step. It's been a good step to me. We've had many good years together. Are there any other takers? Who wants to have a go?
You find another step.
Find another step and do what?
Go over to where you want to.
Okay, so what would you do? Can you give me...
I probably have to make
use
another
the chair.
step.
Yeah, use the chair as a step.
Oh, it's high for me.
What we'll do, for safety,
Yes.
we want no audience members injured during this presentation.
So I step over.
Beautiful. Now, what we could have easily done is just moved it back over the step. She's done it. Thank you very much. Before we move on, does anyone else got some ideas or something they'd like to try?
Can I negotiate a different rule?
Yeah, I was going to say, change the rules.
Negotiate. No.
Can we talk about that a bit further?
No. That's why it's good to be the presenter. Okay? Anyone else? Have you got any other takers? Alright. We'll move on. So, just to recap what we came up to is you can move the step, get rid of the step. You can also accept that you're already on the other side of the step, because you are both a physical and mental being. You can jump over the step. You could go around the step, completely around. Or you could even just go like that. Okay.
Flying sidekick.
Flying psychic. Yes. Good. Jackie Chan films, Bruce Lee films I love. If I could do a flying sidekick without injuring myself, which would be great to go up on YouTube, I would. Okay. I ran this session with two other groups in the past. One of them was with a group of uni students who were on their induction day. The second was with a group of children with disability, kids with disability. Okay? Now, there was a marked difference in how people approached the problem. Some of the solutions that the uni students came up with are, well, you could roll over it. Doesn't have to be complicated. Doesn't even have to be spiritual. Okay? There are lots of very simple, practical ways. Another one is to crawl over it. The only instruction that you are given is that you cannot step over it or on it. You all had a chance to have a think about the solutions. Consider now if I change part of the instruction. So I change it from a step to a box. Your instructions. This is a box. You have to get to the other side of the box, but you cannot step on the box or step over it. What would you do? You could sit on the box. What if I called that a seat? Again, your instructions. This is a seat. You are not allowed to step on the seat or over it, but you need to get to the other side. What do you do with the seat? You sit on it and spin around. So, the experiment that we did here, what we did with the group, the language is subtracted. Because we call it a step, there are already a list of things that we can and can't do. Even though it's a box, it could be a circle. I could even do this one. Just imagine it's not there and trip over it. I get over the other side, sure it hurt a little bit, I will get there. Now, so uni students, they jumped over it, they rolled over it. One person did a flip, which I was very impressed with. Okay, it's really cool. A number of cases, people actually have to exert a lot of energy to do it. Very rarely did someone go to someone else in the crowd and say, hey, I'm not allowed to step on the step to get over, but if you carry me, I can get over. Okay. Already, as we come into this space, and I'm a presenter, and you're a group of people, we have this implicit set of assumptions, relations that we use. How are we going to
Taking this to a philosophy class.
Okay. Now, there again with the group of children with disability. Some of them with physical disabilities, some of them with intellectual disabilities. Most of them wouldn't be able to jump. Most of them wouldn't be able to hop or roll. I was there with the group of them and I put to them the question and they were like, and someone said, I think I know what to do. She was in a wheelchair, but she couldn't move herself around. She asked for help because she couldn't move the chairs herself. Then realised the other thing, you don't even have to, I didn't say you had to do it by yourself. She got 2 chairs. In this case, she could do them one side by side. And what she did, shuffle across the step. Lengthways, but same idea. We had one guy, Keto, he stood up directly after she did this. He was on crutches. He used his crutches to essentially leap over. No one here could do that because none of us have crutches. Now, I use the example of disability, but really what I'm talking about is constraints. Okay. When you're with people, able or otherwise, we're all working within our constraints. Some of them are that you're the audience, so you're inclined to sit there, and I'm inclined to be up here and be active. Others are that you simply can't lift your foot over a step in order to get up it. Okay. What came from that group was a greater variety of solutions to that simple problem than any of the other groups came up with, including this one here. It was different, and it encourages, or is a source of creativity. Not because you're dealing with the label of disability, you're dealing with the constraints. We all want to get to the other side. That was an amazing experience. I originally came to learning about this stuff through my own experiences with Barcamps. I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. There are these labels out there, which we all tap on ourselves. And it forced me to change the way that I look at going over a step. The other thing about that as well is it has to be a bit real. We can go around the world, which would be fantastic. A couple of the other great ideas were pole vaulting. I asked the guy, do you have a pole vault? So,
Oh yeah.
I'm going to reenact it with a highlighter. Okay? So pole vault. I asked him, could he actually do it? And he said no, obviously because he didn't have a pole vault. Well, then you can't do it now. And part of being able to achieve problems like this in life is actually being able to do it now with the resources you have available, the skills and the confidence. So, we managed to get over the step in 3 or 4 different ways. I can't remember all the ways that the kids did it, but they were fantastic. They came up with about 7 different ways to solve one problem. And what that says to me is that these kids have been forced to be creative, just like we all are in our own ways. How can we use those skills and abilities and that intelligence in work and life, in our interactions, rather than the blanket word of disability or whatever label. Labels are useful so far that they describe, but they also contain. It's when we can name things experience them and use them to get over the challenges of today, that become exciting and cool. And everyone has a role to play. One of the things, and again, this isn't really about disability, but we're kind of talking about it, so I'll bring it up, is there's a difference between having a disability and experiencing a disadvantage. For instance, someone in a wheelchair is actually really only disadvantaged because of steps in buildings. There are lots of other strokes in which that's true, but it's actually the steps in the buildings. The reason why those steps are there is because people in wheelchairs probably weren't part of the decision-making process in town planning. You can bet if they were included, that they'd be going, hey, you need to come up with an alternative first time around instead of retrofitting it. Okay. Are there any questions?
Maybe you could talk about, because the reason why I was puzzled with this assignment was I was expecting it to be difficult. So could you comment on that?
That's why I didn't want to try and make it just about disability, because there's also the perception of how easy or difficult things are. How difficult they may be to do is irrelevant to what you think they are in the head. I like Nelson Mandela's quote of, it's always impossible until it's done. Okay. And with the group here, we had someone like Peter who just went straight up and said, hey, I can do what I want with this. And that's precisely where you want to be. When I was with the kids and with the uni students, in the absence of someone to kind of break the seal, you have that tension. How am I going to do this?
That's a really interesting point, because I only recognised in the last few years through conversations with particularly philosophical friends that I'm a person who has a very healthy sense of privilege, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing. That's something I need to recognise, and that another person doesn't have that sense of just doing it. Doesn't make it better or worse, but it is a limitation for them, and something that you need to recognise and support and encourage people to sort of go beyond. So.
People approach it in different ways, and it's not because they can't do it that they don't. The other thing as well is people will approach it differently. In the same way that the kids with disability approach it in several different ways, with a greater scope than we need here, so too will people approach issues differently. The other thing is it's not just about personality, shall we say, and approach and privilege, but it's also about language and the traps and assumptions that corral us into a way of doing things. As soon as you change this to a step, a box, a butt, a face, you go, well, I'm not going to step on a face now.
As soon as you say it's a challenge, and should you accept it, like as if, I could also think, well, that's too hard, Yeah.
And on the one hand, this is about philosophy and that kind of stuff and ideas, but it's also practical because you're using your body, your mind, the energy of the group in order to solve this problem. And in your talk before about getting into the habits of talking to people about your ideas and sharing, that's what we're here to do. We're here to connect, to share, and we can do it in all different ways. And even though it's big, it doesn't have to be. And even small things can be quite large. Some of the biggest things that I've come across in my time is the assumptions we make about what people can do. The implicit assumptions, we assume, for instance, that most of you are coming here and you have a physical disability or you're not a jerk, you seem like pretty nice people, I would say. Some of you are pretty good looking as well, myself included. Don't worry, contents may be hot. Come on! I'm trying to get as much mileage out of this joke as I can. It's a really bad joke. Maybe one day they'll create a law against dad jokes, but until then, I'm there. I was also a teacher, so that's not my fault. We've done the discussion and the talk. We're coming up to the each of you are going to get a reward for coming up with ideas and whatnot. It's a little snake. I don't just give out to everyone, so special for you. I'd like to say thank you for participating, for bringing your ideas and your energy. We're going to finish up at the very end with EA, but I would like, I've never actually asked this to anyone before, does anyone want to be carried over the step? And do we have people that can help out? Any volunteers? I'll go around there.
I'm happy to be carried or to
I'll
carry.
take a photo of it.
Okay, take a photo. We've got a carrier. Who wants to help carry?
I'm happy to carry as well.
All right, great. Matt, come up.
No, you don't give my talk.
You've been carried into your talk.
I'm carrying my talk, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
How are we doing this?
Okay. So, come over this way. Now,
Oh, we're going to do that. Just like,
Sit.
oh, take off.